Now, for many of us, our first taste of politics did not start at the polls, but started in primary schools where we had elections for the post of head girl, head boy, and that continued to secondary school where there are different prefects from social to labor to hostel prefect, and then university. And I know a lot of us might think student politics are luta continua, but it's so much more than that. Student politics, especially at tertiary institutions, is an opportunity to begin to understand how politics work and also to understand the tenets of democracy and practice nation building within an institution. Now, on Rubbin Minds, we're joined by the first female president. She's also the youngest and the first to come from a private university, and that is Blessing Adeogo Ayankomi, who is an undergraduate at Philomath University and also the president of the Law Students Association of Nigeria, LAWSAN. And she's joining us from our Abuja studio. First of all, congratulations, Blessing, and welcome to Rubbin Minds.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I mean, let's just cast your mind back to maybe your primary school, secondary school days. When did it occur to you that maybe student politics might be it for me? And what made you act on that to actually seek the position of president of a nationwide organization, a nationwide association?
Okay, right from when I was in the nursery school, I realized that my actions even spoke for me. In certain situations when I don't even want to lead or when I hide myself behind the crowd, I get to realize that someone literally will just find me among that crowd and be like, you, this girl, you're fit for this position. I looked at myself and I found the skills in me. I found this enthusiasm in me. So I felt like I could go for it. I'm coming from a foundation. I'm coming from a background of, a school that grooms you to become a certain person. I'm coming from Philomath University. And in Philomath University, we have world-class lecturers and senior advocates of Nigeria who will let you know what you can do. So they were one of the persons who boosted my morale as regards this position. And I have this leadership quality. I believe so much in myself. And even as a female, I believe that I can do something in the society. And that's why I picked up the form for the National LAWSAN president, because I wanted to serve as a picture for ladies out there, for people out there who believe that they cannot do it. So I looked at myself, I looked at my qualities, and I said, Blessing, you can do this. So it did not start from now. It actually started from when I was still a very, very little person. Leadership has been growing with me. Yes, ma'am.
And congratulations once again. Now, I'm going to pick up on something you said. You're a female, and in my introduction, you're not just the first female, but also the youngest, and also the first to come from a private university. At any point in your campaign, did you face any challenges as a result? You know, a lot of times people first look up to other people who have been there, done that, and then feel that they too can do it. Any challenges, and if you did face challenges, how did you overcome them?
Yes, ma'am, I faced lots of challenges because in our society today, it's known that it's only the men that lead. So when I go out to do my campaigns, I hear people say things like, hey, this girl, do you think you can do it? And I said to myself, I can do it. The only thing I did was to build a very formidable team, a team that would work for me perfectly. I was able to target the audience. I would say winning was not so easy for me because I contested with a guy, and it was something I needed to focus on. So I focused on the persons that I needed to focus on. The challenges came in terms of campaigns. I mean, when you talk to certain persons and they're like, oh, this girl is a lady, she can't do it. And if I remember my HOD, my department, I remember that woman, she's a leader. And I said if she had given up, she wouldn't have been where she is. So I said I was not going to give up, and I continued. And also when I realized that there were females looking up to me. I mean, there were many ladies out there who were saying, Blessing, if you become the National LAWSAN president, I promise you I'm going to actually contest for this position. I'm the first elected female LAWSAN president, and it was a very big one for me, actually. Yes, ma'am.
Wow. In both of your answers, you mentioned the role of your university. You saw a female HOD who encouraged you. You also talked about how the university has prepared you as a leader. Did you ever feel at any point that you were at a disadvantage going to a private university, considering that past presidents were from federal or state universities, non-private universities?
Yes, well, I felt a bit down because I heard that there was someone who actually won from a private university but was impeached, and I said, what exactly is with the impeachment? Why is it that they don't think that someone coming from a private university can actually lead? Why do they think that people who are maybe influential are better than those who do not have the influence? And I said, I'm not going to look down on myself. I'm not going to look down on my school. The owner of my school is a senior barrister. And I said, if Barrister Collins Aimoan can do it, blessing, you can do it, irrespective of the fact that you are a lady. So I said, I'm going to take it up. I did not care which university I'm coming from. Coupled with the fact that my university is it's kind of a new university, but I still said I need to do this, and I did it.
And what were some of the lessons you took out of this experience, and how have these lessons prepared you now that you're elected as president?
One of the lessons is, no matter the situation around you, do not ever look down on yourself. I look down on my age, I look down on my level, I look down on a lot of things at first instance, but I learned that it is not actually what you can see around you. You can become a voice to your generation at any point in time. So one of the main lessons is not to actually look down on yourself and circumstances. And these lessons will keep me going, because along the line, I am not going to stop here. I would keep leading until I get to a point where I push out, especially the females, to know that yes, you can hold certain positions and nobody is ready to limit you from that.
And what are some of the things that people can expect during your tenure as president? You already alluded to encouraging more females to run for positions. What can people expect?
Okay, now I'm not only leading for females to actually lead, even the guys out there. I'm going to serve as a spokesperson for the association. I'm going to serve as a leader. I'm going to foster a sense of unity, a sense of inspiration, a sense of empowerment in the association, in such a way that I partner with law firms, partner with organizations to see how the law students can be a voice in the society, because law students actually have limited aspects. They are actually limited in certain ways. We need the law students to go out there and deliver. We need them to go out there and deliver. We need them to work with high, top-notch organizations. So it's going to be my duty to see how I can foster this collaboration amongst law firms, to see how they could secure seats and secure space for law students to be advocates in the society.
Now, I want to take us to a broader conversation, looking at the role positions like this, student politics has in nation building. It also has in encouraging people to go to the polls when we are electing, whether it's state leaders, local government leaders, or even national leaders. What role do you see LAWSAN as an association playing in ensuring that more people are engaged, starting with the student body?
I'm going to still speak on the aspect of partnership. So like I said, I'm going to be partner with, for instance, the MBA Nigeria Bar Association, and I trust that this association, being our father, since the association is for the lawyers and we are students, I trust that the Nigeria Bar will assist in that aspect as well.
Okay, but what can we start to expect in terms of getting people more politically engaged? For instance, your election involved a lot of campaigning, raising awareness. How can this trickle down to the rest of Nigeria to ensure that people are more politically engaged when it's time to go to the polls?
Okay, I'm going to work on certain webinars. I'm going to work on seminars. I'm going to work on events. that is going to be broadcasted. This position is not a zonal position. As it is a national position, I'll do my best to ensure that we create a sense of publicity, that when there is a certain position, when there's a certain webinar or a seminar or a program, people can come, people can attend, people can learn, people can see that the time is now for you to start. And there's a lot in the whole political system, starting from even the university, like even from secondary school.
Yeah, and what roles do you see student lawyers playing in terms of fostering nation building, in terms of fostering justice in Nigeria? We say that it's never too young to start. So what role do you see them playing on a national level?
Law students serves as advocates. You can see certain situations where we, law students under the law clinic, like I'm the chief law clinician of Philomath University. So I and my fellow clinician, sometimes we visit places like the correctional center, we visit places like, we visit the prisons and what have you. We go hear from them. Then we relate to lawyers who serve as advocates for them. They go to court, they maybe justify the whole situation and ensure that maybe they get the bail they deserve, if they actually deserve it. So we actually, as students, we actually play a certain role in our dear nation. We serve as advocates.
Okay, and how do you see your association and the larger student lawyer body already taking existing law judgments and breaking it down to the public to make it more accessible? A lot of times young people are suffering from political apathy and they don't want to follow the go and read law cases. But using social media, for example, leveraging technology, what are you going to do to make these kind of cases more accessible to young people?
Can you come again with your question, Ma?
So we see all these judgments on television, we read them in the papers, whether it has to do with elections or whether it has to do with certain cases. Maybe somebody has gone to court. But a lot of times there's a lot of political apathy with young people. So what are you going to do to ensure that the law gets closer to the average person, that they too can also follow along and understand some of these things?
Okay, one of the main issues is the fact that the law seems to be cumbersome to some persons. Even the laws enshrined in the Constitution, some persons don't really understand the law. So we are going to work in such a way that...
So you will break it down and ensure that you and your team are able to communicate it to others. We're sadly out of time. Thank you very much, Blessing Adeogo Ayankomi, who is the undergraduate student at Philomath University, as well as the elected LAWSAN president, and all the best with your tenure. We'll go.